everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is just going to be a really relaxed video. I felt like filming a tutorial, but I didn't really feel like putting makeup on my face, so I figured, okay, I'm going to do something really easy and really simple. All my brushes are really dirty and I had no idea what to do for my makeup today, so I thought I would show you guys how I like to apply my makeup, only using my fingers and at the very last moment using just a little sponge. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we start, you always want to make sure that you have some makeup remover wipes right by your side, because your fingers will get dirty and because you'll be using your fingers pretty much for everything. You don't want to contaminate the makeup across the different types of blush or bronzer or eyeshadow, because then you won't get the effect that you want. So always make sure to keep your hands nice and clean as you go along, and that should just be a go-to rule anyway for whatever makeup you do with your fingers. So we're gonna start by just priming the face. So I'm just going to use the Nivea Men Aftershave Balm. Everybody's using this and I absolutely love it, so we're just gonna go ahead and spread this all over the skin using our fingers. You don't need too much, just about this much. I'm going to warm it up on your fingers and just blend it all over your face. And you want to keep blending until it becomes nice and tacky. So now I can feel my fingers are starting to stick to my skin, so now I know I'm ready to go for the next step. Not every foundation works really well with blending with your fingers. Some of them actually work best and look nicest when you use a brush. But the two that I really like, and I actually mix these two together, is the Infallible Matte from L'Oreal and also the True Match from L'Oreal. And these are in the colors Vanilla number 11, and this is in the color Rose Beige, I think. We're just gonna mix these two together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my fingers and just dab it all over my face. And now we're just going to take the other one and blend it out as well. Now your fingers are nice and dirty with the foundation, we're just gonna blend this in. When you blend with your fingers is you actually need a lot less product than you would if you were to use a brush, because your fingers don't soak up any of the product, so you're able to just spread it around really nice and smoothly, and you get to save so much more product than if you were to use a brush. That's it. In less than a minute my foundation is all nicely blended in. Now just make sure you have a towel close by so you can wipe your fingers off. And now we're going to go directly in with the concealer, and I'm using the Stay 24-Hour Maybelline Concealer in the number 2 Light Beige. And we're not going to apply too much because, like I said, your fingers don't soak up any of the product, so we're just going to dab this underneath the eye in the general area that we want it, maybe a little down the nose and up on the forehead and the chin. And now just using your ring fingers, because it's the most gentle finger of all of them, we're going to use this to pat in the product. Because of the warmth of your skin, the product actually blends out much faster and much more naturally into the foundation that you've already applied. Okay. And now all the concealer is blended in. Now if you want, you can set it. So I'm first going to take a makeup wipe and I'm just going to clean off my fingers before I go and touch any other product of mine, because I don't want foundation and concealer in my eyeshadows and my bronzer. To set your foundation, it's going to be very difficult to do this with your fingers, so that's why I have this little sponge with me and it doesn't take up any space. This one is from Kegan, and you can buy this for about €1.50, I think, so it's really affordable. And I'm gonna take the Kegan Invisible Powder, and it's this translucent powder. It does have a little bit of a white cast to it, so you wanna be very careful with how much product you apply. So I'm just going to take the sponge and I'm just going to dip it in. So you don't need that much, and you're just going to fold over the sponge and rub it together. And now you're just going to pat this really gently in the areas where you applied the concealer. You don't want to overset your face unless you're using a dewy finish foundation and you want to make it a little bit more matte. That's it for the amount of powder, so now I'm just going to take my fingers, very, very lightly dusting off any of that excess powder. And don't worry, we'll use the setting spray later, so if there's any chunky bits, we can get rid of that. Wipe off your fingers again. Okay, so now the base is done, so we can go in with the next step, and I'm going to use the Face Contour Kit by Sleek Cosmetics, and it comes with a really lovely mirror on the inside, and just these two shades, a nice contour bronzing shade. It's a little warm for me to be a contour, but that's okay, we'll work with it, and a nice pinky highlight. So we're just going to take our finger and we're just going to dab it into the bronzer. You don't want too much product, and you're going to very gently start making circular motions with your fingers. You don't want to have too much product on your fingers because you don't want any blotchiness to be left behind. And don't worry, this takes practice because a brush really does do all the work for you. So don't worry if you don't get it right the first time round, you'll get used to it. And if you want to have a slightly more defined line, you just take a little bit on your small pinky finger and just run it down the sides of your nose and then blend. Okay, and now we're going to go in with the highlight shade and just put this on the tops of the cheekbones, on the tip of the nose, a little bit just above the brow bone because I really like the lifted effect that it gives by my brows, on the cupid's bow, and just a little on the lower lip. And now we're done with the face. So we're going to go right into the eyeshadows. And again, I'm going to use a Sleek Cosmetics makeup eyeshadow palette, and this is the Garden of Eden Eye Divine palette, and it looks absolutely stunning. These colors are a mixture of mattes over here and some shimmers in this area, so we're just going to do a really nice soft look only using our fingers. I'm going to prime my eyes, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. You don't need too much because your fingers again won't soak up any of the product. Careful not to tug on your eyelids too much. Okay, so now we're done with priming the lids. Now we're going to dive into the palette, and I'm going to take the color Eve's Kiss, which is this beautiful shimmery purple shade right here, and I'm just going to take that using my finger, and I'm going to blend this all over the lid. Now the thing with using your fingers is you can do a really easy, fast makeup look. You won't need to take too much time to do it. So if you're in a rush and you just want to throw on a little bit of like natural eye makeup, you can totally use your fingers. But if you want to do a winged eyeliner or you want to have a little bit more precision work, then you can't avoid using brushes. So now we're going to take the color Forbidden, which is this very muted mauvey color with a little bit of gold specks. And we're just going to take that on our finger as well, and we're going to blend this on the outer corner of the eye and up into the crease just a little to create a little depth and dimension. Want to get really up into the crease here, switch to using your pinky because it's a much smaller surface area. And now I'm going to take the color Python, which is this really shimmery color here, and I'm going to take a little bit of this, not too much, and really focus this on the tip of that outer corner just to create a little bit more depth. The trick is to not apply the product all over the finger. Really just touch the product really gently so that you only get it in the center of your finger, and just pat it really gently on the outer corner so it's almost like you're using a small little pencil brush. Obviously not a pencil brush, but it'll do. And now I'm going to take the final color, which is this brownie purple color in Flora, on my pinky again, and I'm going to apply this on the lower lash line. Now to highlight the brow bone, I'm going to use the Body Shop single eyeshadow, and I have no idea what color this is. And I'm just going to apply this up onto the brow bone and a little bit down towards the shadows we already applied to blend them out. And now to line your eyes, I'm going to use the Smashbox Limitless eyeliner in black, or it's in onyx actually. And I'm just going to line my waterline. Now that my eyeshadow's done, I'm just going to take some Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara and I'm just going to apply this to my lashes. You can always apply some falsies if you wish. Also just take a little bit of that same eyeshadow that you applied on the brow bone and apply it to the inner corners of the eye to brighten up your eyes a little bit more. Okay, and now all that's left is the lips, so I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics Ultimate Lips 28 color palette, and I think I'm gonna go for a nice muted mauvey nude color, so I'm going to mix these two shades together here. So I'll first apply some of the darker shade, again just using my finger. If you're only using your fingers to apply lipstick, I highly suggest that you stick to lighter colors because the darker you go, the more precise you'll need to be. Dark colors are not as forgiving with mistakes, so make sure to stick to some lighter colors. Now we've applied this color, so I'm going to just take a little bit of this one and apply it on the center of my lips. They're a little matte, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this High Shine lip gloss on the end and just apply that on top. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you give this kind of trick a try using only your fingers, then please tag me in all of the photos that you post. I'd love to see them. I'm just at Makeup with Kegs everywhere on social media, so make sure to follow me there, and I can't wait to see the looks you come up with. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time, next Friday at 6:30 on the dot Netherlands time. Stay happy and safe in these times ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye! So I got this photo finish primer and it says it is oil free, which is perfect for me considering that my skin is a little bit more on the oily side. I wanted to really give this a go, and it's a really small bottle, so I wasn't sure how long it would last. I have used this